Hey friends, welcome back to By the Way. My name's Nina.
I'm Tiff.
And today we're going to be talking about the things I wish I knew before coming out. No closets required. The term coming out refers to the process that people who identify as LGBTQ+ go through to accept their sexual orientation or gender identity and share it openly with other people.
Coming out is a very brave thing to do. The process is extremely personal and different for everyone. I know my coming out was extremely different than your coming out.
Just a little bit. Everyone has their own way of coming out or their own thing that happens, when they come out.
And it always happens on your own time. You have to do it when you are comfortable. Number 1, coming out to yourself. It's often a step that's looked over, I feel, coming out to yourself, because you feel like you have the need to tell other people.
It makes it easier to come out to other people. I feel like coming out to yourself can often be the hardest part, honestly. That's kind of how I felt when I came out. I had this idea in my head and I was like, this is me. Often people have that, second realization. They're like, is this me? Then they're like, oh yeah, this is me.
When you come out to yourself, you feel more confident to actually share it with others.
Step number 2, explore who you are. It could be your gender identity, your sexual orientation, or your gender expression, or a mix of all three.
Some of you may question one of these things, some of you may question all of these things, and that's okay. Over time, you might realize that, you have a different sexual orientation or a desire to have a different gender at a different time in life. Everybody's process is different, and everybody needs to take their own time.
Yeah, and on top of that, you could start out thinking, this fits you, and then as you discover more with the alphabet of letters, there's a ton of them. If you guys don't already know, it's more than just LGBTQIA+.
And if you want to learn about any of them, the link is in the description.
But you also might find that what you're feeling inside and what you're trying to express fits into a different letter that you just didn't know existed.
Number 3, educate yourself before you can educate others. As we previously said, there are a lot of letters in the LGBTQ+ acronym, and so it's a lot of information to have to go over as one person, especially if you haven't been exposed to the community or if you live in an area that doesn't have any resources. It can be a lot of information that's thrown at you and a lot that you have to process through. So it's important to educate yourself on who you are and who you want to be so that you can share that with other people. And it shows them that you're serious about who you are, and you're educating them so that they have the right knowledge of the community.
Also, people will have questions. The more knowledge you can bring to the table, the better off you will be. I know some of the questions that we've faced, there have been a ton. Some of the most common ones are, how do you know? Or, are you sure?
Or this just might be a phase.
Ooh, yeah, that's a very common one. Make sure you can express how you were feeling.
And sometimes it goes above those surface level questions, and sometimes they get very personal, and you don't have to answer every question that comes your way. If it's too personal, you don't have to answer that. That person's invading your space for no reason.
I wouldn't say for no reason, but bring up a great point. Number 4, find a support group or just general advice. As we had mentioned before, we are going to link some stuff down in the description box below. Make sure you're getting your stuff from decent sources, but also if you're not looking on the internet, if you know somebody you can reach out to, a family friend, a relative, someone that's not going to judge you. In fact, even coming out to a stranger can be helpful because they don't know a single thing about you.
The internet can actually be a helpful place. There are a bunch of communities on apps like Facebook. We have our own community if you'd like to join that. There are communities everywhere, so if you don't feel comfortable saying things out loud or admitting things, to other people around you, just come out to somebody on a forum. That might help you in your process, and that might help you feel more confident to come out to the people that might be harder to come out to.
And depending on your area, or if you are in school/college, or there's a community center, there could be some resources within your area that could link you with other people, and that could also lead to some really cool friendships and stuff. I know I've got some like friends that I had no idea, and I came out to them, and then they were like, oh hey, like me too, by the way. So like that was really cool to see. Have you experienced anything like that?
Well, I was lucky enough to be part of my LGBTQ plus community within my high school and within college for a while. So that was helpful for me to actually see the community, like especially in college, see the community outside and like the outreach that you can do, and even getting into politics. That's not my, forte, but it's an avenue. Number 5, come out how you want to. A lot of people, I'm sure you can even look at YouTube right now. There are so many videos of different ways that people can come out. I know there's like 100 different ways to come out. People come out with balloons, cakes, all kinds of things. Yeah, there are so many different creative ways of coming out that I act very jealous of, but I know dang well I would not do it myself. I would just come out the same exact way because I am lazy.
I wasn't creative. You weren't creative, were you?
I was about to say, you are the creative one. So if one of us had to be creative, I would think it would be you.
Missed opportunity there. Oh well. No,
it wasn't really a thing for us at the time. 2011 was not the time for creative ways to come out.
No, time is an illusion, so I don't remember the year.
And if you are a friend of somebody who hasn't come out, please don't be the person to push them to come out when they're not ready. Because I have met people who have felt like they had to come out, and even celebrities have been, threatened to be outed, and they're not comfortable with coming out yet. And it's really sad that people try to make other people come out and share personal information that's frankly not anybody else's business.
Yeah.
Unless they want to make it somebody's business.
Number 6, come out to the people that you know are going to be supportive. It is our recommendation that if you know someone is going to be supportive, like this person right here, come out to the people that you know will be supported first. That way you can build your confidence level and you have that support structure.
And once you have that support system in place, it'll be easier to come out to the people who you know may have more in-depth questions, may need time to think, or just may not want to offend you with what they have to say right away. So they might take, some time and then come back to the subject later. Always come out to the people who you know will be supportive first, because it makes it easier for you, and the support system really does help. Which leads us into number 7. Coming out can be stressful. There can be people who you might have thought would be allies and aren't allies. Come out in a place where you feel comfortable, so that way you feel a little more relaxed. We also understand that there may be situations where you can't come out, where you might be in a situation where violence might come your way, or there might be some retaliation for you to come out. We understand that it might not be the right time, and we're still here to support you, and please still find support groups either way, so that way you have the support you need even through the tough times.
Number 8. Coming out isn't a one-time thing. In fact, you might have many sit-downs or several sit-downs with people. You come out to, we said, a group of people one-on-one. Either way, you're gonna probably come out several times. Each time, though, I've personally noticed it's gotten a lot easier. I don't know about you.
It has gotten a lot easier over time, and honestly, it is easier now because I say, oh, my wife. That just kind of breaks the ice there. You don't have to really go into detail unless they have questions, because a lot of people assume we're lesbians even though we're bi. So
yeah, there's that, but that's just going along with stereotyping.
And that's because people don't really like us in either community. The bis are always retaliated against, unfortunately.
It's alright. More to follow in a different video.
Prepare yourself to come out multiple times. I know there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, I can just come out once, it's gonna be great, they can tell everybody else for me, and I won't have to have these conversations. You're still gonna have to have the conversations, because even if they hear it from somebody else, they still want to hear it from you.
They're like, I'm gonna post this on Facebook, if people even use Facebook anymore. I wanna post this on TikTok, and I don't have to come out anymore. No, you'll still have to come out. Sorry.
Number 9. Always remember there are people there for you who love and support you.
Like me.
It can be hard, especially if you come out and people don't have the reaction you hoped for, or the conversation doesn't go the way you thought it would. Always remember, especially back to what we said before, create that support system. So if you do come out and it doesn't go the way you wanted, you still have those people to love and support you and get you through the situation.
And hopefully over time, they will grow to love and support you, or you coming out to them could change their view entirely. It does take a little bit of time, which brings us to our next point. Number 10, give people time to process. So coming out, depending on the person, you might get those negative reactions like we spoke about in number 9, but people need time to process. It might hit them all at once. They might have no idea. They might have every idea in the world and they were just waiting for you to say something. It really just depends. Sometimes people will surprise you.
Yeah, sometimes people will surprise you. I know I unfortunately made the mistake of thinking that somebody wasn't going to be supportive of me. And when we sat down to have the conversation, they asked about my relationship, and I could tell that they were hurt that I didn't come and tell them first. They found out from Facebook, which is pretty bad. And I unfortunately stereotyped them and thought that they wouldn't be supportive of me, and they were and still are one of the most supportive people in my life. Make sure that you don't discredit people before you actually become open with them.
And get a chance to talk to them. And sometimes it helps explaining your view. I mean, I know I had lots of questions, particularly with being bi, when I came out from a variety of sources. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of conversation, a little bit of space between those people, but eventually they will come back, if they want to, if they do truly love and support you.
If there's any tips or advice that we missed, please comment below. If this video helped you, please drop a like. If you want to continue this conversation, please post on the community tab or send us a message. Either way, we'd like to continue the conversation, and we are sure that there are points that we've missed that you can share with other people and that might help other people a lot. By the way, show some love and support to somebody who you love and appreciate in the LGBTQ community.